So let's get right into the topic today, the psychology of your fitness journey, which is really how it starts. There is no fitness journey without psychology. There is no successful transformation or successful weight loss without the mindset coming first, being the first priority, being the one thing that actually starts change. You actually could have an extremely successful transformation with just the mindset aspect. And maybe I shouldn't even say that because that could just run me out of business, right? But seriously, that's how important and how powerful your mind is. And I have been doing it for many years, and that was definitely the beginning of my fitness journey as I sat on my mom's back porch and visualized being really healthy, being that girl that everybody knew as a fit girl, as the girl that's in and out of the gym all the time, as the girl who doesn't have much fat on her body and where you can see my muscles. Like literally, I did that every morning for a month or two straight, and obviously it kind of played out pretty well. So I'd really recommend everybody do some kind of visualization like that, which we will get into why. Okay, so the first thing that is kind of the beginning of everything ever is thoughts. Everything that you look around, this computer that you're on, started with a thought, an idea. This presentation started with a thought in my mind last night. Your cup that's holding your water started off with somebody imagining that somebody who wanted the job of working in the factory. So everything starts with thoughts. There's somebody who isn't muted, which is okay, but make sure that you are, unless we want us eavesdropping on your combos. So your current reality, and when I say that, to kind of relate it back to fitness, what I'm really alluding to here is your body is a product of your past habits. If you have been getting up and running for an hour every single morning for the last year, your body is going to reflect those habits. And obviously it's not immediate. The physical plane takes time. The energetic plane, the emotional plane, kind of like what we just tapped into, that's immediate. But the physical body is ruled by time and space, so that takes a little bit longer. But if you have just been sitting every single day and maybe just your only movement is walking from the car to your office, from your car home, your body will show that and will reflect that. 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts that we had yesterday. That's a fact. Look it up. So if our thoughts are what creates things, and 90% of our thoughts are the same things we had yesterday, what do you think we're producing? The same damn things. So a repetitive thought becomes a belief. That's what a belief is. When you go to church or you start to believe something, or you see the sky every single day and it's blue every single day, that's that repetitive thought which turns into a belief. Beliefs are automatic, and when they're automatic, it becomes an unconscious pattern. When something becomes an unconscious pattern, or it's a repetitive thought and starts like that and then becomes an unconscious pattern, we surrender to these patterns and we take them as fact. That's just what it is now. When we think something enough times, we believe it enough times, then we stop questioning it. It's ingrained, it's hardwired into our brains. Now it's just how things go, and anything new is then what we focus on. That's already been hardwired. So having unconscious patterns causes us to make the same choices. When you have that repetitive thought, which then turned into a belief, which then turned into an automatic unconscious pattern that makes you create and choose the same choices, that results in the same behaviors. The same behaviors result in these same experiences. These same experiences result in these same emotions. So repetitive thoughts all the way down the line, getting to the same emotion, and same emotions lead to same thoughts. Okay, so if you're having this sad, depressed emotion all the time, this unworthy, I'm unlovable, I hate my body, I feel uncomfortable, that's leading to those repetitive thoughts, which then is a belief. So it's this continuous cycle. Feelings are chemicals. Emotions, dopamine, serotonin, sadness, all of these things, emotions are just chemicals, and chemicals are addicting. So we get addicted to whatever feelings that we're feeling. We get addicted to that feeling of love, the feeling of hatred, the feeling of victimization, the feeling of being sad. If we feel it enough, we become addicted to it. So producing change means we need to make the unconscious conscious. That's a hard word. Conscious. Say that 10 times fast. So making the unconscious conscious. Those patterns and behaviors and repetitive thoughts, as soon as we just look at it, because consciousness is just awareness. So all you have to do is notice. When we start making those conscious, that's how we can start producing change. A habit is when you've done something so many times that the body knows how to do it better than the brain. Maybe you have tied your shoes so many times that you're not thinking anymore. Bunny ear, cross it through the loop. Your body knows how to do it. You don't have to think about it anymore. When it comes to driving, you don't have to think about it anymore. Your body now knows how to drive the car better than your brain does, right? If you were to think about every step that it takes to drive the car, that's going to take way longer and be way more inefficient than the body. The body has been conditioned by the mind. And always just remember that your body, as special and as beautiful and as magical as it is an animal. Animals can be conditioned. If you guys are familiar with Pavlov's law and the dog thing, being conditioned, he hears the bell, he drools. He hears the bell, he drools. When there was food and then there wasn't. So we are constantly doing that to our own body. So this is the biggest thing that I see with clients. Do you really want to change? Because change feels uncomfortable. It's going to be a little inconvenient, right? It's not going to be part of your same routine. It's going to be out of the normal. It's going to be irregular. It's going to feel unfamiliar. So as long as you are prepared for the inconvenience that will come just for the first couple of weeks or couple months until you've now created those new pathways, that's where people usually struggle. An inconvenience comes up and they're like, yeah, no, not for me. I'd rather stay in the old patterns that I've already ingrained so deeply. So installing new circuits in the brain, like belief, that was supposed to say, the note that was supposed to say of, belief of worthiness. So are you truly worthy to make this change? Are you truly worthy to be in your dream body and to be at optimal health and to be able to run without any knee pain and to be able to go to the beach and feel confident and have a photo shoot and love how you look in pictures? Do you really believe that you're worthy of that? And those beliefs come with the repetitive thoughts. So when we first start becoming aware of those repetitive thoughts, that's when we can actually change those beliefs and create worthiness. So identity and mindset, like I said in the beginning, kind of identifying as a healthy, fit person, a person who likes to work out, a person who can move comfortably and confidently, a person who is strong. And the brain doesn't know the difference between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining. Also, that's a fact. Look it up. It's a real thing. Also, kind of like how we just did that little bit of a visualization, but if you were to pair that with some kind of an emotion, you would really feel it. A good example is when it's sexy time. You can just close your eyes and think about something, right? And your body, it's like it's happening. It's like it's right there, right here, right now, baby. And all you did was have a thought. That is like my favorite example to prove that the brain does not know the difference between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining. The body is very objective. It's not subjective. The body doesn't care what your preferences are. The body is objective. You're thinking, it's feeling. Okay, it's like an immediate cause and effect. So teach your body what it feels like before the manifestation of the event. The word manifestation gets thrown out there. All it means is something happening. Things are always manifesting. This call has been manifested. The food that you're cooking has been manifested. You get in the car, it has been manifested. It's just something that's happening. Teach your body what it feels like before the manifestation. So what does it feel like after you have lost the 50 pounds, after you have deadlifted 200 pounds, after you have put on the dress that has been just collecting dust that you couldn't wait to put back on? And like, what does that feel like? Teach your body that before it happens. Visualize, feel the emotions, get your behaviors to match your intentions. I like the word intention over want or desire or goal. because those all imply future, not here, not now, and all that is real is right here and right now anyway. The future is just made up in your mind. The body becomes conditioned to a new mind then. When you visualize and feel emotions and you sit and you know, take 5 minutes out of your day to feel how you want to feel, now your body is being conditioned to its new mind. And that's how you're going to get the results the fastest. So that's your homework, is to try that for 7 days in a row. That's also been proven in Joe Dispenza's workshops. There's 7 days in a row, and within those, they're 7 days long. And just within 7 days of a couple minutes of truly feeling the emotion. So if you're sitting down and you're thinking about other things, or you're not feeling it in your heart yet, or you're not feeling the emotions yet, I challenge you to just sit and don't get up until you feel those emotions. Do that for 7 days, and please report back to me of how it goes. And then one of the most important things as well is language. Also something that I hear with my clients a lot, is just their lack of awareness of how powerful your language is. So something that's an example is, a lot of times we talk about, like, imagine where you want to be in 5 years. And we talk about that. So I want to, you know, have my car paid off and own a home and, you know, like have all these things. And you're listing what your life is going to look like in 5 years from now. And then 6 months goes by and I ask you the same question. You say, yeah, well, in 5 years, I'm going to have this. And then another 6 months goes by and you're still listening. So you're still just pointing and pointing instead of embodying right now, because what you create right now is what manifests in the future. Because like how we said in the beginning of the presentation, what you are right now is just evidence and proof of your previous habits. So in order to accomplish those things in the future, you have to embody them right now. There is no you in 5 years. When you get there, that's just you now. It's always just you right now. Saying I want, or my goal, or I desire, all of these things just enforce the lack of it. So I would highly suggest using my intention, or my standard, or just I am. Just be aware of, like, saying I am a fit and healthy person. I am creating change in my life. I am eating healthy foods on the regular basis, or whatever. I also hear this a lot as an excuse, which is, you know, just digging people kind of deeper and deeper into where exactly they are at the moment. I am the kind of person who blank. Oh, I'm the kind of person who wakes up late, or I'm the kind of person who's really consistent for a week and then falls off the next week. I'm the kind of person who, you know, gets easily influenced when I'm out with my friends. I'm the kind of person who cannot say no when there's a plate of Oreos in front of me. Okay. Anytime you say I am, whatever comes after that is like, okay, and it's done. And it's done. So I also would really highly encourage you to have that as your homework this week. Notice anytime that you or maybe somebody else says the words I am, and pay attention to what comes afterwards. And if it's not something that you want to be bringing into your new self as of today, tomorrow, that current moment, I would highly recommend trying to just be aware and then make those language adjustments. So does your language tie you to your past, or does it embody you into your intentions, your standards that you're creating? You're always creating, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. And what we're trying to get to is creating consciously from now on. Language can tighten your grip on guilt, unworthiness, victimization. You know, that's why I really try to preach. If you had a bad week or whatever, or you had a birthday dinner and you went out of control, the more that you kind of talk about it and dwell on it and really use those words to keep holding you back, that's just what it's doing. Or your language can be the doorway to changing the present moment, aka your life, because that's all that's real, right? What happened 10 minutes ago is just based off of your memory, which there's also so many studies to prove that our memory is like 20% accurate. 80% of it is just made up, or it's perception, or it's been influenced by whatever emotion you had at that moment, or even right now. So just moving on with other languages. Blank is hard. Tracking macros is hard. Well, what if it wasn't? Going to the gym is hard. What if it wasn't? Just like playing around with those ideas and maybe paying attention to how much your language is solidifying your current beliefs. The biggest thing too, I can't meditate. I can't visualize. I can't have a moment of stillness. I can't. The more you say I can't meditate, the more you make it true. Everyone can. You're just sitting and doing less. You're not even doing anything more, by the way. I don't like blank. I don't like the gym. I don't like waking up early. I don't like going grocery shopping. I don't like meal prepping. I don't like these foods. I don't like that. What if you did? And it doesn't mean you need to change it from 0 to 100 or flip it to the complete opposite, but just that idea of kind of toying around with, what would it look like if I did? What would it look like if I were the type of person who liked that, the type of person who did that? And then also a huge thing is, I don't know. What would your answer be if you did know? So next time somebody asks you something, or you're in a position at work or, anything at all, and your answer is, I don't know, especially when it comes to like journaling or self-reflecting, like, why are you this way? Why is this pattern coming up? Why do you feel unworthy? And if the answer is ever, I don't know, well, how would you answer if you did? No right or wrong. Just start playing around and toying with that idea. Okay, that was fun. Hopefully that kind of makes sense as to how it ties into your fitness journey, and everything starts with a thought and a belief. I would highly recommend, like I said, doing that homework and just doing any kind of visualization to feel the emotions of how you want your life to look like, especially in the morning. Just set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes, or honestly, it'd be best if you wouldn't get up until you actually felt the emotions, for how you want the day to go, how you want to feel at the gym, how the sweat is going to feel so good, the endorphins afterwards, when you're, it's the end of the day and you've hit your macros perfectly, embodying those feelings, setting the intention for your day. Amazing. If you do that for the next 7 days, please report back and let me know. And just being aware of the words I am and anything that comes after it. It's just all awareness. Don't need to even change anything just yet, but just bringing the unconscious conscious is how we'll start. All right. Any questions, add-ons, follow-ups, anything that you found cool or want to add on?
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Dr. Amen. He's a neurologist based out of sorry, I'm trying to simultaneously cook here. So he's a neurologist based out of California, and he does all these brain scans and whatever, but he has really good books. And one of the key things that he does, kind of going off of exactly what you just said, was you obviously have to start your day out with good intentions, but you also have to end your day with good intentions. So he has this story of the day that his dad died. Like previously had built this habit of every night before he went to bed, he would do like positive focuses. So what went well that day. And even the day that his dad died, he went to bed and it was like habit for him to just realize like what went well that day. And it was like a funny story with his mom or whatever. So that's just a good practice to like start in the morning of like positive focuses, ending the night with positive focuses. It really helps with gratitude as well.
I love that. I just got chills. That's pretty powerful that happened on the day that his dad died and that it was already instilled. And I love that because that's kind of what I posted in the beginning. That's actually exactly what I posted in the beginning of this week in the Discord group chat. As I said, set your intentions for this week, and then I'll follow up with you and we'll take inventory at the end of the week. So yeah, like kind of like as like a taking inventory, checking back up. But yeah, just focusing on what went well, because there's always a win. That's also a big thing that a lot of my clients have an issue with, is if their nutrition was perfect, they hit their macros every single day, and then they rate themselves a scale of 1 to 10 and they give themselves a 9 just because they're afraid to give themselves a 10. I've literally had people say that, or like, but I'm like, why? You did perfect. We celebrate wins here. All successful people celebrate wins here. If you lost a pound this week, that's amazing. Even if that wasn't your goal for the week, you wanted to lose 2 pounds by the end of the week, celebrate your wins. So yeah, really good. Good point, Vicky. Write his name in the Discord so that we can look him up, because I've never heard of him. Cool. All right. Anybody else before we pop off here?
Hey. I found it interesting when you said that 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts that go into the next day. And it made me think just what I've been focusing on recently. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna continue being that bitch.
Yeah.
If I keep thinking about that annoying stuff or whatever it is, and not like redirecting or focusing or trying to like, I'm just keep consuming the same thoughts like day after day.
Totally. Yeah. Redirecting. that's like such a good word for it. So just redirect your thought, make a pattern interrupt. Like, if you're in that pattern, you got to do something
Mhm.
to break it, and just being aware. So yeah, especially with what you're going
Yeah.
through right now.
Yeah,
You're
literally.
literally, yeah. Yeah, right now is a really
Bitch is going through it.
she's going through it in the best way though. This is going to be the biggest level up. Yeah, I actually remember Miss Erin said that in one of our yoga classes together, that 90% of your thoughts are the same as the day before. And then Joe Dispenza just said it again in this podcast. I'll post the podcast that I just listened to, and it's wild. Like, Joe Dispenza always blows me away. I'll also post the book. All right, cool.
So he has his own like, I guess, like podcast page, or does he just go and speak on other people's?
I don't know if he has his own. I don't think he does have his own, but he's on a bunch of other people. So he's the one that he posts or that got released within the last week was on Jay Shetty's podcast. And I know this is their third podcast together, which